Do you remember this tune, Joy and Pain?
Are like sunshine and rain, and they're both the same.
Both the same? What was Franklin, Beverly, and Mays saying? Were they saying opposites are really the same? Can that be true? If so, are God and the devil opposites? Or are they one and the same? Join us and see if we can delve into the apparent relationship of opposites and discover what is true about relationships. This is Who Am I?
Who am I?
Who? Our purpose is to awaken.
Who am I?
To awaken to absolute truth.
Am I?
Who am I? Who?
Our purpose is to awaken to absolute truth.
Absolute.
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 Absolute truth.
Our purpose is to awaken. Are they one and the same? Absolute truth. That's our purpose.
Who am
Okay, class, we're going to get into a good discussion today. We're going to have some joy and maybe not too much pain, okay? I used to love that song by Mays, you know. It's really trying to get deep, okay? There are some songs that really get deep, and they are saying joy and pain, which apparently are related, but then he says they are the same, okay? Now, we've been talking about this thing about relationships for the last few shows. And we want to go deep because, you know, it seems as if we are related to someone or something. Joan is my sister, so I would say Joan and I are related, okay? We're related to Robert and Ruth Carter, our parents, okay? You could say, you know, I'm related to this piece of chalk. Or some people say, I can't relate to your show. Okay. Or I do relate to your show. But there is this thing called two, that there's a one and another. All right? We even have a religion. All religions are based on that there's a you and a God, an I-thou relationship. That you were created by a God, and you are to worship a God, and you are to be in the presence of this God. Yes, Gloria.
Well, just looking at I always refer back to this board, but looking at the board, we've got opposites there. What is God's identity? We say God is love, God is all, God is infinite.
Okay.
Now. And then we go down to the human identity, which is lacking, fear, opposite of all.
Okay.
So it appears to be opposite. It appears to be one over the other. It appears to be one looks, I look at God's identity and I identify that as, oh, that's good, I want to be that.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the human identity, I wish I weren't a human.
Uh-huh.
Or I think how do I not be a human? So I see that as a negative.
Yeah.
So it's positive, negative, good, bad, right, wrong, all of that.
Yeah, you remember in the Bible, in Genesis, when supposedly God created, you know, Adam and Eve and so forth, and got that garden and all that good stuff. And then supposedly he had this tree. And this tree represented what? Yeah, the knowledge of good and evil. And once Adam and Eve knew about good and evil, they could no longer stay in the garden. In other words, once they knew that there was something called opposite, you know, even though if you think about it, if God created it, then he knew about opposites, okay? But, you know, they don't tell us that in Sunday school. Yeah, Sharon.
But the opposite, if you look at the Bible, which we know is it's a story, but the opposite would begin from the very first word, in the beginning.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we say there's a beginning, the opposite would be there would have to be an end.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, see, as Gloria was saying, what is below this line, okay, this is all. Can all have an opposite?
No.
No. So what is this?
appears to be the opposite.
It appears to be the opposite.
Yeah.
There appears to be an opposite of all good, called devil, Satan, or whatever.
Bad.
All right? Bad. Whatever you want to call it, evil. All right? That if there is an opposite to God, now I underscore that word if, because what we are looking at, we have just said, if God is all, then there can't be an opposite to all. Yet every religion, every ology, psychology, biology, theology, any ology, okay, is based on that there is something called two. And these two are separate. And they are unlike. And they can be opposite. All right? I mean, we all like to watch the Super Bowl, right? And with this year we didn't. At least the first half we were
Like
like,
the outcome.
yeah. The Falcons blew it out. Well, anyway, we won't go there. All right? That's evil. That's Satan. All right?
That's sad.
Yeah, that's sad. But anyway, getting back to the topic. So there appears to be something opposite to God, even though God had to create it. You know, now figure that out.
Yeah.
All right? He created his opposite and supposedly didn't like what he created and then threw it out of heaven. That's the story we were told, okay? And it's a story, as Sharon was saying. But now we bring this to us that we think. I think I'm Alan Carter, a human who has a personal identity. Okay? Is that true?
No,
Why you say so?
it's just a thought within that human form.
Exactly. It's a thought. Any thought. I don't care if it's a thought of God or the thought of Jesus or the thought of whoever. Who's thinking it? I am. All right? And once I say I, am I talking about this or am I talking about this? If I say Alan, a human who thinks, then there will be something called not me. There will be separation. I would think I'm related to Joan. All right? That's two. Or I think I can worship God. That's two. Two finite entities. I am finite as Alan, and God is finite. And isn't that what we all taught?
We're taught, yeah.
Yes. And not only do we have to be taught it, we just accept it. It's just part of human thought. If you think, you automatically have killed God. I repeat, if you think about God, you have denied God. If you worship God, you have denied God. I know that's going to upset some folks.
And even to take it like personal, but further is if you do that, you're denying self.
Yeah, but what do you mean
And
by self?
self is, well, I use self with a capital as synonymous with God, with all.
Self meaning the identity that I am.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yes. Whenever you think, you're denying your divinity. I and the Father are one and the same. I, not Jesus. All right? And obviously not Alan, right, Joan, Paul? Y'all know me for a few years. So Alan is not I, Alan Carter am God. And it's not I, Jesus am God. All right? And we know I, Donald Trump, is not God. All right? He might think he is, right? But he isn't, all right?
It's too difficult.
And the Democrats will let him know. Rachel Maddow will let him know,
Being
too.
God is difficult.
Yeah, but-
Yeah, it's too difficult. He didn't realize how difficult it was going to be. Yeah, Linda.
Yeah, just like the song we sang, joy and pain, those are opposites. So for me, a human is going to feel joy and pain, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to be at the line where I am all, or good, and as we said, it's good and self. Because those, to me right now, they still are part of the concepts. What I'm trying to say is, how do I understand what Jesus said, that we should love our enemies Do our enemies have a loving gift for us?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the pain would be my enemy and joy would be my friend. So whoever brings me pain would be considered an enemy to me.
Okay, yeah, at the human
Right.
level.
Right.
Okay, yeah, at the
Yes.
human level.
May
Yeah.
I ask Leonard a
Yeah.
question about that?
Sure.
That you said that, correct me if I heard that wrong, that you said that all good self, the words that are describing God are concepts?
Right.
Okay.
So what's your question?
Well, so it's like I've been looking at them as truth versus concept. Like truth and concepts are, concept is from the human thinking, truth is
Just beyond human thought.
beyond human
Yeah,
thought.
if you can think about it, that's not it. Just like if you think about whatever you think about God, whatever you've been taught about God, that's not God. That's a concept.
So those are just labels that
Well-
I have put on or we have put up there for God that are distinct from the labels that we've given for human.
Yeah, well,
But
why,
there's-
why do I talk?
That's
I think I got some thought, a concept that you are unaware of. Okay, so I have words, and we speak English. You know, if I spoke Russian and you spoke Chinese, then that would be you go, what are you talking about? Okay, but because we have supposedly a common language, I can have a thought. All right, and I can put a word to it, but that word and that thought are just symbols.
okay.
They are not the real thing. The Course in Miracles says, words are just symbols of symbols, twice removed from reality. No word is true. There's no such thing as the Word of God. Okay? There just is God. All right? But we have to, because we think, we have to put it into some framework that for us, that can make us understand something. But we mutilate it. We commit adultery when we do that. Whenever we talk about God, we commit adultery. All right? We are adulterating that infinite is, which is beyond words, beyond thought, beyond anything. Leonard.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying, Gloria, that even though we can say God's identity with concepts, it's still a thought. And so it still is in the realm of a relationship. That's what I was saying, because we have relationship with words. We're going to have a picture of what that word means to us, and there's a relationship there. All means something to you, and good means something to someone
Right,
else.
okay.
May be different, because it's a relationship. So that's why you said to speak and say anything about God is indescribable. You can't, it's like a name that's nameless. However, our human and personal interaction is about relationships. And I think that's where most of us start before we understand where we get to God's identity. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I start with a
Thank
thought. Okay, when Descartes said, I think, therefore I am, that wasn't true, but that's is apparently true about humans. Because everything that a human does starts with a thought. Okay, I think. And this I, we think, is a mind-body mechanism caught in time and space. Alan Carter is a mind-body that was born in Fayetteville, Tennessee, and yada yada, and grew up in Norma, Alabama, and all that. Right, John? So that's what I think. Now I will say, and this is where humans get caught. We think our thoughts are true. How do you know your thoughts are true? The only thing you know for truth is I am. All right? I can say, Archibald is, but that's not true. I can't prove that Archibald is. All right? I can only say absolutely that I am. Boy, you gotta, like you're gonna have a baby. That would give us a rating.
But if we say I think, isn't that basically saying I am?
Not the one that thinks they exist. It's a thought. Yes.
I mean, because if all humans think, then that's part of the human identity, of course.
That's the basis of human
That's the
identity.
basis. But Well, it couldn't be God's identity because it's not all.
Right, exactly. You hit, that's the nail on the head,
yeah,
Paul.
yeah.
That's the nail on the head. You see, we're trying to, what Archibald is doing is what, we as all humans, if we are wise, we would do. He's getting to the point. Archibald is struggling with, this I that thinks and this I that is. Can they two coexist?
No.
Can there be an infinite presence and a finite presence, which is unlike the infinite? Although, they say in the Bible, man was created, God created man in his image or something like that, right? So it's like God, who is infinite, created something called lack, okay, or thinking, or finiteness. How could a God do that? Yeah, why would he do it? Or could he do it? Can the infinite stop being infinite? No. But that's what we all are premised on. That's our understanding. I don't care. I mean, this is not just about religion. This is all theologies. If you're human, you have something called a finite existence. The thought, I am. That's finite because Alan Carter thinks, I don't know what's going on in the next room. I don't know what Donald Trump is doing. Probably something stupid. But yeah, I said it. I guess my bias comes through. Yeah, great.
Well, can the human get out of his predicament with the thinking, and can the human come to realization of who God really is?
Carol and I were talking about this before the show, right, Carol? Because she was, asking that question in another form, but essentially the same question. So your premise is that there is something called a human. That's your premise. And you always have to get to what's the premise. If you have a false premise, you're going to have a false conclusion. Okay? So if your premise that there is something called somewhere where the infinite isn't, which is what the premise of a human is, okay? Then no. It's kind of like, did you see the movie Lucy? You haven't seen the movie? You heard about it? Okay, well, anyway, when she gets to be supposed to 100%, she disappears, okay? And there's no longer the Lucy, all right? So you got to get to nothing, and then there's everything. But you ain't as Greg there to know it, okay? God can't know Greg, but not Greg. I am God, but not Alan, okay? Yeah.
But Greg through self-inquiry.
Uh-huh.
Is that the way to get there?
Well, it's a way. It looks like a way that is like, why do we have this show? Okay, and why do you come to it? It's because you have an interest and curiosity, probably long before you met us. Okay, right? And you were searching for something probably outside of what you were traditionally, taught in church or whatever, or what grandmama taught you or whatever. Okay, yeah, it looks like you have made progress. Probably. Were you raised in a church?
No.
Really? You're a little boy. Y'all was fortunate. Yeah, and Sharon, the back row here, all heathens. Y'all heathens. Because y'all had, Joan and I were raised in the Methodist church, and then I became a Baptist, Anyway, the point though is, it looks like you have made progress. And you could say, I was here back 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I had these beliefs. And now I have these beliefs. And then maybe 5 years from now, you may have another set of beliefs, okay? But notice, they're all beliefs, which are thoughts, okay? And it requires something called progression, which means time, okay? Progression can only happen within a time context, okay? But can there be time in that which is eternal? No. Eternity crosses out time. In other words, it's like what the Buddha discovered when he supposedly became awakened, as if there is something called a Buddha. All right? As if there is something called a Jesus. Jesus, Buddha are just thoughts within me. Do you get that? All right? I would say Jesus lived 2,000 years ago, and I would say Buddha lived 2,500 years ago. That's time-based. where's time? Time and mind are the same. You can't think without time as a human. Okay? So, since it looks like progression, you know, like you said, like I was a Baptist. I used to belong to Green Forest Baptist Church here in Decatur. Okay? And it looks like I have changed from being a Baptist to what some people might call devil, which, whatever they may call it. All right? But the point is, there appears to be a change. Can truth change? No. That's why there has never been a fall from grace. There has never been a Big Bang. I repeat for the scientists. There has never been a Big Bang. All right? Big Bang was the creation of time, space, and matter. Or a Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created. Okay? Now that gets rid of Greg and Carol and Gloria and Joan and Ball and Leonard and Sharon and Alan as separate, huh?
And Trump.
No.
And Trump. Thank God. Miracles. My prayers been answered. Anyway, not in the form that you think.
So Brandon.
See, you think of Greg as something solid, okay, that can change and is in time and space. That's what we are, because we identify with this, the skin bag, okay? And that's all subject to the laws of biology and physics and chemistry and all that stuff, okay? But they all change. What you should be interested in is that which is changeless, that which cannot change. And that's God, that's truth. God and truth are the same, okay? And truth can't change, so then how could God change? And since God is all that there is, what else is there? Glory.
So everything below the line, the human identity, the personal identity, that's all about opposites. It's all about thinking.
Yes.
And thinking in terms of opposites.
Yes.
Right, wrong, male, female. Above the line, God, self. There's no thinking involved, just is. It's is all.
Yeah,
all
I mean,
is. So there is no comparison, there is no opposite in all. And yet all includes everything, but not like how we as a human personal identity sees all things. We see it from opposites, whereas from the God identity, everything is included, but it just is. But
Yeah.
I can't get a hold, Gloria can't get a hold of that.
oh, glory. No, Einstein said everything is relative. And he wanted to know, he said, I want to know God's thoughts. That's why he realized, that nothing here is permanent. It's related to something else. Okay? And then he says, but that ain't it. It must be something absolute. He thought it was the speed of light, but that's not it. Leonard.
It just hit me when Gloria was speaking that what you're actually saying, what might be the premise of your show, is that you're trying to help us see things not from the eye, but with the eye.
Yeah, as the eye.
As the eye.
As the eye.
Right.
Okay? That, yeah. Yeah, as who and what I am. See, like I said, the only thing that's absolute is I am. So we got to find out what I is. Okay? Everything else, like Einstein said, is relative to I, to me. But who is this me? Now, as Glory was saying, this I is all. I am that I am. I meaning that I am aware of my being. All right? I'm aware that I exist. Okay? Now, yes, humans would say, well, I'm aware I exist. I'm from Norma, Alabama, and went to Morehouse and yada yada. Okay? Hell, I'm a black man in Atlanta, Georgia. All that stuff. Okay? And then as we are looking at, this I is always in relationship. It's because it's finite.
Right.
okay? And even can have a God. It will create any kind of God it wants. Okay, yeah, Leonard.
Let me just see if I'm clear, because what Greg was saying, from the human perspective, we're looking at things from the eye, from the human eye. So we can't possibly understand what the absolute I is, because there's no time and no thought there.
Right.
So that's why it's not trying to look at it from the I am something, like you said, Leonard or Alan or Gloria, but look at I from the eternal I.
Right.
And there is no time and no thoughts there. There are no concepts.
Right.
They're just isness, as you
Just
say.
is.
Right?
Yeah.
But
John.
isn't that still a separation?
What?
If you look at it from, I mean, you're going to have to bifurcate it as a human being.
What? By who? You must be. Did you go to council training? Fisk. Oh, that's where you got it from. Fisk. Okay.
But you would have you as a human being, because then it seems to be that you would then have to put that there and then do your stuff as a human. So there's a bifurcation. There's that there, and then there's me as the human being. Because otherwise, as a human being, then I go crazy.
But
Well,
Dr.
then you
Carter,
gotta share.
but see, that's the first fallacy.
Yeah.
Is that we're human beings.
Right.
We are not human beings. We are spiritual beings. That's the truth of who we are. That's the allness. We are human doing, we are human thinkings, but we can't ever be human being. And we're never being. Being is all.
Yeah.
We're never gonna be all. All is being. All is the isness. And as long as we think that we're human being, that's the first point. That's the reference point. That's the whole thing. We are human being. We are human doing, thinking, but we're never human beings because we can't be.
So we will put a comma here and take up from here and the next show. But I invite you in the audience, even though it looks like you're separate from me, and really you're not. And I know I haven't been smoking funny cigarettes. Okay? But to continue to be open-minded, ask questions and don't think you know something. I'm sure at one point or another you have asked, what's the secret of life? Perhaps you even wonder, why does it have to be a secret in the first place? What's up with all the mystery? Well, on Saturday, June the 10th, we're spending the day exploring the very topic. Won't you join us?
Meet Dr. Carter in person at the Secret of Life workshop on Saturday, June 10th. Visit dralancarter.com for details.